Cool, 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 cool. Let me switch this off. We're not going to use the document yet. Cool. All right, here we go. So, we're going to do a Q&A, so ask whatever, preferably on YouTube or TikTok. Instagram, I probably am not going to check it that much, but it is up. But the second part we're going to do, it's a lecture on love. It's going to be called From Doing Love to Being Love, The Return of the Heart. So I was listening to Ram Dass speak the other day, and if you're not in the Discord, go ahead and join. It's free. The link's in the bio. But what I was doing is I was watching this video, and I was streaming it in the Discord while I was taking notes. And one of the stories Ram Dass talked about was a story where he was a psychedelic guide, basically. He was just guiding people on their psychedelic journey. And I don't know if any of you have had this experience. I'm sure that you do. But the closer that you get, well, even closeness to source is an illusion, right? Because you can't get closer. But the more that you walk down this path and you find yourself, quote unquote, waking up, you also have to be more mindful of the energy that you put out. One of the things that I'll say is that at a certain point in your life, you realize everybody is your soulmate. Right? Everybody is your soulmate. And when you begin to look at life with the eyes of devotion, I see you and I see God. When I'm in front of you, I'm at the altar of God. That seeing of people can become intoxicating. Also, one of the things that I realized is because the psychedelic guide journey brought me back to my younger days when I was really just starting this awakening thing and I was doing psychedelics. And I would love to do psychedelics with women. But what I did was I stopped doing that. I stopped doing that. Number one, because people get pulled into your experience. But number two, it was like you have this experience with this person and y'all are both experiencing this naked love, okay, between one another. And when you come off of that high, there's almost this knowing that, yeah, you're gonna want some more. Like you can't get enough of this, right? And so what can happen is that you go on this journey with somebody. You feel seen by somebody for the first time. Maybe you feel seen by them in a different way. Now, all of a sudden, you mistake the method for the love. You mistake the actual person in front of you for the love that you are. This person is introducing you to a love that already exists within you. But we get addicted to that person. We believe that person is the gatekeeper. And so what happens when we try to possess this thing? We try to hold on to it. Because you allow me to meet myself. You allow me to rest in the safety of who I am. So now I want to control you. Now I'm getting jealous. Now I don't want you with anybody else. I begin to use you to find what already existed within me. Now this could also be the sake of psychedelics, right? You get pulled onto this trip and you quote unquote reach God or reach oneness or reach this feeling. And now you believe what? The psychedelics are the gatekeeper to God. You run across a teacher, a spiritual teacher, and you're, oh my God, you're so enlightened, right? And now all of a sudden, it's just bringing you back to you, but you mistake the method for the source. There was not anything special about the person. There's nothing special about the teacher. You're just recognizing the truth of who you are through them. So there's this constant trap where you go out in the world and you're venturing and then something points you back to yourself. And so instead of me having that recognition that, oh, this is all me, instead, what am I doing? I'm looking out there and I'm saying, it's you. It's this person. It's this substance. It's this teacher. It was this book. It was this. It was that. It was that. It was this. No, it was you the whole time. right? And so I know that was a long ass introduction for something that we're not even going to talk about right now, right? But yeah, let's do questions for a little bit. We're going to do questions, and then I'll jump into that lecture probably in like an hour or so. But I want to do questions first because I always get to the end and I'm kind of fucking tired. Kind of fucking tired. What do I desire right now? Nothing at this moment. At this moment, I'm cool. At this moment, I don't really have any needs. I don't really have anything that sticks out as a desire. Of course, I love connection. I love to connect with people. I love to. Um, I love intimacy. I enjoy simple things these days, right? So I enjoy those things, but nothing sticks out of my mind. Like, am I trying to truly manifest something? No, not really. I'm just really living my life, and as those things show up, I know that they're already mine. So I appreciate you, brother. Sure, we're not. No. Can you talk a little bit about aging? Let me. Ooh, I forgot y'all. Y'all can comment kind of fast. All right. Why do things happen that we do not desire? Because everything happens within the mind of God. If all things exist, all possibilities exist, right? When you look out, what do you expect to not see? If everything exists and you're walking around within God, what do you expect to not see? That's why everything exists. That's it. Okay. Facts. That's why everything exists. The problem is getting caught in the illusion. Shit happens, right? I'm in a situation and the situation shows up against what I expect. We can go two ways. The number one way of reaction is I've come into this state of consciousness, and now I'm trying to figure out, well, what did I do? Surely I didn't create this. I'm struggling, Alex. If I'm truly the creator of my reality, why would I create this? Wrong question. It doesn't matter anymore. That situation is there and it has a right to exist as along with every one of infinite possibilities. They all have a right to exist. Now, moving forward, you get to choose, do I want to experience more of this or not? Do I want to experience something different or something similar? That right there is the question. That is the question. Get clarity on what you want. You don't need to figure out the lesson of why did I create this or how did I create that. That's irrelevant. That just keeps you tied to the situation. I pull that situation in and I'm saying, well, this situation must be me. So what did I do? Okay. And so just by me trying to figure out what I'm doing, I'm creating an identity that I must be doing something wrong to have this. And I still believe I'm doing something wrong. So I continue to cling on to this situation. All right. What is the method of focusing on I am when factors like political and country affairs scream out loud? It's the fact, okay. The method, it's not a method, right? Because I am is just the truth of who you are. It's a remembrance of that truth. But also the next part of that is that you could tell me that there's political things going on. You can tell me that there's affairs going on in the country. You can tell me that across the world, when you turn on the TV, you see all of these things happen. That's fine. What does your reality look like? Is your reality impacted by that or not? All right. Two twins, identical twins, right? They can both have different political views. One of them, matter of fact, one of them checks out of politics. The other one is into it. One of them only complains about shit. This is what's going on. These people are doing this. This is like that. Yeah, it causes them stress. They're constantly talking about how this politician, this government official, these people are denying them the right to live free. And so how that manifests in their reality is all of a sudden they hit roadblocks. All of a sudden they think everybody out there is against them. If something goes wrong, it's because of this politician. If that goes wrong, it's because of this politician. They suffer. This other person, they check out of it. They don't even pay attention to that shit. And they say, my life is peaceful and nothing can bother me. And so these two identical twins, they could live in the same house and have two completely different realities. Live in the same house, have the same job, go to the same places, hang out, do the same things, and live in two completely different realities because they have two different perspectives of what can impact them. Oh, that was your real twin that joined the thing earlier then. Interesting. Let me look at your profile. No, I'm just playing. Ignore the senses and just have what you desire. How do I get past that? I think I'm lying to myself. How do you get past that? You make the choice to say it's not about okay. When we say ignore the senses, it's not about walking around, right? And it's like a buffet. It's not about walking around and ignoring reality. It's about understanding that you're more real than reality. Situation can look like whatever. You can look out there and you can see all these things going on, but that doesn't have to define you. Having an empty bank account does not mean that you're broke. You can still decide to be prosperity. Now, how I'm going to carry myself in physical reality is I'm going to carry myself in physical reality like what? Like I have 10 fucking dollars. But I'm simply going to know that I'm prosperity because I am the breath of God walking. That's it. So it's not about me pretending anything. When I try to pretend that I have $1 million when I have $10, when I try to pretend that I'm healthy when I'm sick and the doctor said I have X amount of time to live, right? That's going to be difficult. Instead, we remember the truth. Go to the truth. Because you are already all that there is, now you can be prosperity. Now you can be health. Now you can be love. And all of these other things have to catch up with that eternal truth. How do you manifest a relationship commitment with a guy who only wants sex? You can't. Okay? Because right now you're already telling the story that he only wants sex. So how, you tell me, if I give somebody an identity of only wanting sex, and then I say, how can I get commitment from them? I'm contradicting myself. You're trying to live in two different realities at the same time. So, come back to one. Which one is it? Does he only want sex, or are you in a committed relationship? Does he only want sex, or are you in a committed relationship? You have to choose. You can't serve two masters. You're serving two masters in that question right there. Okay? So the answer is right there in the question. You cannot get what you're not willing to give yourself. And if right now I'm a person that says, well, it's how do I get it? I can't see it. Well, I say, you can't have it if you don't see it. I know, mind blowing, right? It's such a simple statement to make, but we will constantly just ignore that. How can you have what you say you don't have? How can they be faithful if you say that they're a cheater? How can you have money if you keep calling yourself broke? How? You can't. You can't. You can't have a car that you keep saying you don't have. You can't have a person that you keep saying is not there. You can't have money that you keep insisting and doubling down on and saying it's not here, I don't see it. You can't. Impossible. You must make up your mind. Are you reality or is the external world reality? You cannot serve two masters. You can only serve one. This is the metaphysical meaning of crossing the River Jordan. This is why Jesus was baptized in the River Jordan. This is why the Israelites had to cross the River Jordan. After they crossed the Red Sea, they crossed the River Jordan to get to the Promised Land. Why? Because the River Jordan marks going from the external world being the truth. Israelites were in what? Egypt. Egypt marked the external world. They followed the external law. What they saw was the truth. And they got to the Promised Land. That is you, Zion, right? That is you living in the truth. This is righteousness. I decide what the truth is, and that is who I am. And that is who I am. So either what I want is going to be the truth, or the external world is going to be the truth, one of the two. Why did you manifest a reality where you only want sex? I want to be loved, right? I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to say it slower. Does he only want sex, or are you in a relationship? Which one is it? Keep in mind, you can only have one or the other. Which one is it? Jasmine. Does he only want sex? or is he in a relationship with you? Which one? This is an important lesson for all of y'all. It's a very simple thing, right? This is why Neville went. He was telling all of his problems. But what about this? But what about that? And Abdullah said, "What? You're in Barbados. How can you tell me how can you try to figure out how you're gonna get there when you're already there? You're already there. How can you try to figure out why he's cheating if you're already in a relationship, a healthy one? Make it make sense, please. If you were in a healthy relationship, would you be trying to figure out why he's cheating? No. So which one do you want? Do you want him to keep cheating? Or do you want to be in a healthy relationship? Pick one. Pick one path, commit to it. Or pick both and then continue to wonder why your reality looks like confusion because you keep choosing the two things. Would you affirm or do to stop illegal separation and get that feedback? I would decide that it's not a separation, that you are in okay. I'm about to get a little bit more pointed with y'all. Let me get more pointed with y'all tonight. I would decide that I'm already in the relationship. Okay. I would stop trying to manipulate situations and try to figure out how and thinking about what I should do, and I would just go to the end. Trying to figure out how you're going to get there always implies that you don't have it. Because if you had it, you wouldn't be trying to figure out how to get there. This is why Jesus said, "I am the way." The way does not mean try to figure out how you're going to do it. Try to figure out how to affirm, try to figure out how to get there. It means you are the way because you decide that it's done and that becomes the way. Reality unfolds from within you. And then you tell me, "Well, Alex, I chose that he loved me, and then last night he said you're not in a relationship." Okay, so you tell me, which one do you want? Do you want to accept that as truth, or are you the truth? When Jesus was talking, did he say the external circumstance is the truth? The SP is the truth, or did he say you are the truth? You cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve yourself and the external reality. You can only choose one. Only one can sit on the throne. Either you will sit on the throne and you will say, "This is who I am no matter what I see," or your SP will sit on the throne and you will make them a shrine. And you will say, "Alex, I chose this last night, but 2 days ago, Alex, I chose this a week ago, but 2 days ago he said he doesn't love me." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Well, you tell me, how does the story end? Does he not love you, or are you in a relationship? Which one is it?" Appreciate you, Doc. Grateful for you as well. How do you know you're being who you decided that you're not trying to get some? It's a choice. It's a choice. And when I say that, it's not that. Of course you want something, right? But what I mean when I say you're just doing it to get something is me trying. Okay, here's a practical example. If I'm visualizing myself trying to get something by visualizing, I'm just going to create a reality where I continue to try to get something. Instead, I visualize myself from the knowing that I already have it. You can do your visualization or whatever the case may be or whatever technique. This is why the knowing is first. The knowing that you are already it, you already have it, is first. Because if you already have it internally, now it shows up externally. So this is a different thing. It's different from me deciding to do whatever technique you want. Let's say that you want to affirm. Go ahead and affirm. But do it to have the experience of having it right now. To fulfill yourself right now. Don't do it trying to get something. Because now you are just being someone who is trying to get something. If you're trying to get something, you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I trust you get what I'm saying. Absolutely. Yeah, just decide you have it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to affirm or visualize or none of that shit. You can do those things if you want. But the bottom line is, do you decide that you have it or not? If you decide you have it, you have it. And once you decide you have something, the only person that can prove you wrong is you. Circumstance can't prove you wrong. It can show you the opposite, but you accept it as truth, right? The feelings can tell you the opposite, but you have to accept it as truth, right? The feelings can accept the truth for you. Your circumstances can accept the truth for you, right? You have to accept the truth. So it always comes back to us. Yeah, you missed everything. We already had, no, just like, we just started like 20 minutes ago. I did decide that I have it. Yesterday he told me he misses me and can't wait to see me. We met, and I know there's going to be a sad story ending, and I'm going to tell you the exact same thing that I've told you for 3 times. What's the truth? Is that the truth, or are you the truth? Is that the truth? Is what you heard from him the truth, or is that you get to choose right now? Yeah, so you choose. What do you choose? What are you deciding? Are you the truth, or is what he said the truth? I don't know what's up with the notifications, y'all. Why y'all keep making me repeat myself? The latter experiment, the Neville experiment, I never done it. What I used to tell people was to manifest flowers. When I first started to work with people, I would get women to manifest flowers, and I would get men to manifest having a woman gift them a drink, buy them a drink. Those things were always pretty fun to hear, those stories, those success stories. But it just lets you know like what's possible. How to go from broke to having money. You already have money. You're already abundant. Solomon over there. Hey, if you can juggle, you can juggle. Those that can juggle should juggle. Those that cannot juggle should not juggle. If you can't juggle, don't juggle. But if you can juggle, go ahead and juggle. How to keep up with the feeling of knowing? I find it hard to keep. Knowing's not a feeling. Knowing's a choice. It's not a feeling. Believing that knowing is a feeling is going to have, you're going to be slapped around a lot, right? Because that means that if I feel good, I'm more likely to know. If I don't feel good, I'm less likely to know. Knowing is not a feeling. Knowing is an unconditional choice. It's an unconditional choice. It's the choice to say that no matter what I see, no matter what I feel, no matter if the thoughts start racing, I'm going to choose to go back to the truth. I'm going to choose to remember the truth about me. And the truth about you is that you're already all that there is. And if you're already all that there is, you get to choose whatever identity you want from that. And so the remembrance, oh yeah, I'm already everything. I just forgot for a second. But even when I forgot, I was still all that there is. So I go back to that, and then I remind myself the story that I've already chosen. That's all it is. It's not a feeling. Thinking it's a feeling is going to have you, you're going to be in a cycle, right? And so now also remember that forgetting is part of the game. You didn't come down here to merge into the trees and the stars. You came down here to merge with that goddess. You feel me? You came down here to merge with that goddess through the illusion of separation. You did not come down. I didn't come down here to merge into the trees and the grass. Fuck that. No thanks. Okay? I'll take the goddess instead. I'll take 2 of them preferably, right? So that's what you came down here to do. So whenever you forget for a second and then you remember, right? How do you treat yourself? How do you treat the version of you that forgot? Do you treat them like shit? Like, fuck, you forgot, bro. You messed up our manifestation. Or do you understand that even though I forgot and I had the human experience, that's what I'm down here for. The human experience is just as divine. It's a perfect part of my divinity. The remembrance or the forgetting is the perfect part of my memory as well. That's cool. Your body and mind waver. They're supposed to. What else are they going to do? Right? They've been used to living in the illusion for so long. It doesn't matter what your body and your mind say. It just matters what you decide, what your heart says, what you choose to know as truth. Not with a feeling, but just as a knowing. Look at you, Miss Pickles. When did it click for you? When I decided that it clicked. When I made a choice and said, man, I've been searching for information for so long. I've been trying for so long. Let me just make a decision. When I decided that it clicked, that's when it clicked. When I decided that it was just a choice. If this is all me, I don't have to affirm to myself because I am the source. I don't come up with all my desires. They just somehow magically show up. I'm just going to accept those as the truth. I'm going to decide that I'm not one teacher away. I'm not one coach away. I'm not one book away. I'm not one revelation away. I'm not one feeling away. I'm not one thought away. I'm not one fast away. I'm not one diet away. I'm not one workout away. I'm not one full moon away. I'm not one bathtub ritual away. I am just as divine now as I will ever be. It was just making a choice. It was introduced to me through The Secret. Through The Secret. Yeah, it is. It is simple. It's simple. It's like what Joe was saying in the Discord the other day when he was talking about trading. He was like, it's simple. It's not easy. It's simple. It is simple. It's a very simple process. Decide, right? The easy part is, well, I mean, it's not easy because we have to pull away our programming. Because the program is like, just decide. Then we go brain dead. How do I decide? How do I know if I've decided? Come on, y'all. What do you mean, how do you know if I decided? At least, what should I? I'm God. What should I do? You're God. You tell me, what should you do? Right? So it's the decision as God that, okay, if you're God and you make up all the rules, then you get to decide it's working out. You also get to decide that you're too confused and I don't know what to do. And he showed up and did this. And I decided, but he still said that we're hot and cold. If you're God, then you're decide, right? So that's the whole thing is, do we, because anybody can say, yeah, I'm God, I'm all that there is. I'm the source. Right? I'm the expression of God. Anybody can say that shit, but there's a difference between knowing the way and walking the path, right? Lots of people know, but how many people walk the path? How many people embody this truth, right? And so the embodiment also comes with, so you can get baptized, right? Just like John the Baptist said, right? I will baptize you in water, but the one will come after me that will baptize you with fire and the Holy Spirit, right? The Holy Spirit is the remembrance. You all have the remembrance. You're this deep in here. You've remembered that you're source. The fire is stripping away the illusion. What is the illusion? You've already remembered, and now you're asking me, how do I know I've remembered? Well, you couldn't ask the question if you didn't remember, right? How do I choose? What do you mean? You just chose to ask that question, didn't you? You had a thought, I can ask this or I cannot. What question do I want? I typed it out. You chose to type it out. You chose the way that the wording was going to be. You sat there and you looked at the send button. You chose to hit the send button. You scroll by this TikTok. You chose to open it up. You chose to stay right here. Huh? You woke up in the morning. You chose to hit the snooze button. You got out the bed. You chose the outfit you wanted to wear. You chose the breakfast. You chose the route to drive to work. You chose to say, because I'm late, I'm just going to choose to go to McDonald's instead and put some poison in my body on the way to work. You chose that shit. And then you chose to supersize it. Hit me with the supersize. You chose it. And then you went to work. You were about to walk into a meeting. You chose To see your coworker walking down and you say, damn, I'm going to have to talk to them, or I can make this right and just go into the bathroom. You chose to make that right and go into the bathroom. Then you chose to come back out. You chose. You're choosing all day. The illusion is thinking that you haven't been choosing an identity 24/7, 365. The same way that you choose to say, I don't get it. It's a choice. It's still a choice. Right? Even saying I'm confused is a choice. You could just as easily say, it doesn't matter how I feel about it. I'm it. I'm him. Or I'm her. Okay? You can do that. You deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve everything that you desire. It doesn't show up out of nowhere. It shows up out of you. Your reality. Right? You choose. And then even when you remember, you choose to remember gracefully or to remember harshly. You choose to say, remember, I've been God this whole time. It's all working out. It's been all working out. I just got caught up in the illusion. Or you choose to say, fuck, because I forgot, I must be doing something wrong. Right? Yeah. Revision. Well, from this present moment, right, it's you get to choose who you are right now, and choosing who you are right now impacts the past and the future, because the past and the future are just thoughts. They're memories. They're mental images. Right now, visualizing what you want is no different than right now visualizing something that you think you went through. They're both just mental images. They're both just imagination, right? So who you are right now already impacts your past and your future all the time, right? So, for instance, you go through a breakup, you're sad, you're crying, and you say, man, I would do anything to have her back. 5 months pass, 6 months pass, you out in the club, you in Colombia, you in the DR. And you see a little something walk by you. You get to talking to her, you fall in love, you say, thank God I went through it with old girl. Thank God I went through it with that goddess and I got over her, because now I'm grateful to be with you. Okay? So nothing changed in that old situation. Nothing changed, but your perspective of it changed. Now you have different memories of it. You have a whole different perspective of it. All right? You have all of so you're constantly revising anyway. The main point is that right now you are all realities. You're the past, you're the future. You are the present moment. You're everything right now. And so who you are right now, who you decide to be right now, is what is projected, not just in front of you for you to walk into, but also behind you. And so not even going to that realization, like I've told you, you let's say that right now you have been abused, or let's say that you've been left, betrayed, per se, by people in the external reality in the past. Okay? So now this is your identity. You say, I am someone who has been abused. I've been abandoned. I've been unloved. People always leave. They always turn their back. They always walk away. Okay? Let's say that that's the truth. Now, let's just go to the actual truth, because we know the physical reality is not the truth. It's just a projection. Okay? What's the actual truth? That you are right now all that there is. The expression of God. You are the source. Okay? So now, what does that mean? That means that you've always been unconditionally loved, because this source that is you loves you or itself unconditionally. Right? You've always been supported. You've never been betrayed. Everything that you have accepted as truth has been unconditionally reflected from within you. So the truth is that you've never been unloved. You've never been betrayed. You've never been alone. Never been abandoned. So when I go from telling from believing that what I've experienced is the truth, which will always leave you iffy and exhausted, right? We say, oh, well, just change your truth. And we think that you're trying to change something out there. It's exhausting. It's tiring. That's why you say things like, "Oh, it feels exhausting. It feels like I'm gaslighting myself." I mean, I can't say that I disagree with you. Trying to act like a situation in the external world is abusive or isn't abusive, instead of just walking away from it and deciding that I'm the person because I am source that is always loved. But instead I'm trying to put up with some shit and affirm over it. That's exhausting. That's terrible. Right? So we don't tell the quote unquote truth based on what I see out there, because what I see out there could never be the truth. Why? Because it's always changing. Anything that changes isn't real. The only thing that is the truth, right, is that within you, all realities already exist. Creation is done. Infinity already exists. All timelines, all paths, everything already exists. And so now you're just choosing a remembrance of one of those realities within you and allowing that to unfold. The truth is that you're already everything. And you can't, if you're already everything, you can't judge everything on one moment out there, one circumstance, or 10 circumstances. I know some of y'all are smart asses. Well, it wasn't just once. He cheated 7 times. Well, you can't blame, or you cannot define who you are, infinity, based on 7 circumstances, or 20 circumstances, or 1,000 circumstances, or 1,000,000 circumstances that still fall short of infinity. It cannot measure up to infinity. All right? Yeah, cool. I feel like that made sense. I feel like that made some good sense right there. What other questions y'all got? Cool, no questions. Tavu Olivia. I answered that already. You keep spamming the same question. I already answered you. I said you keep on deciding that. I said if you cannot stand in the conviction of who you are, despite the thoughts and the emotions, then what are you doing? Right? That's a natural byproduct of the mind and the body. Is that, of course, you're gonna decide that you are source, right? You decide that you are who you decide to be. You decide that. Now, you've accepted that truth, but the body and the mind, they've been so conditioned to looking outside and saying that what is out there is the truth, that it's going to be natural for you to get in these circumstances where you're like, oh, shit, well. And then you call it wavering. Let me give you all a little secret about wavering, okay? There's no such thing. It's an illusion. Wavering doesn't exist. Wavering, it's made up. Spiraling, made up. These things don't exist. They have nothing to do with you getting what you want. Guess what they are? They're just a part of the human experience. A part of the human experience is that you forget who you are sometimes and you have doubts. But doubts don't define the truth. You've already accepted the truth that you are tall, or whatever the case may be. Or your shit is extended 3 inches, right? So now you're at a whopping 5, right? So whatever the case may be, whatever you decide is the truth, that is the truth. The only thing that can stop that from being the truth is you don't accept it. You make the truth a remembrance, right? You go back to the remembrance. I've already decided this is who I am. The mind, the body, all of that, they could doubt. They could get stuck in the illusion because that's what it is. But now I remember the truth. Why does the money come at 4:59 p.m.? It was there the whole time. It just didn't reveal itself to you until 4:59. Is it that you haven't accepted it? What you mean? You tell me. Have you accepted it? What's up, Daisy? Whew. Oh, the Egypt trip, that was you. I don't even remember the exact question. Yeah, I read the Gnostic text. I read the Gnostic text. I enjoy them. I enjoy anything that has a center of mysticism in it. Anything that hints towards mysticism, I'm with it. I'm a fan. God dwells within you. Count me in. How is it that we're not separate from anything, yet we're separate from our ego body? You're not separate from those things. It's the same way that Jesus said, I and the Father are one, but the Father is greater than I. It's basically just the same way that people say ego, right? You have an ego. There is only one, right? The ego is just an idea. It's not a real thing. It's just an idea. It's the part of you that we would consider physically focused. That's all it is. The part of you that we consider physically focused, but it's not the greater part of you. Right? So you are one. The ego is you. It is you. It's not the truth of who you are, but it is you. It's an idea, right? So keep in mind, if you take everything literally, it would be confusing. Right? I know once somebody got really pissed off at me one day. They were like, you said God is within you, and then you said you're God, and you're contradicting yourself, and you're just a fucking scammer. I was like, God damn. Right? Sometimes, so the way that we speak, right? When we say ego and this and that and that and this, there is only one. There is no Alex or you. There is only God. There is only all that there is. But from a human perspective, we create these delineations so we can explain it and express it. This is why we'll say the subconscious, the superconscious, the conscious, the unconscious. There's only one mind. There is only the one. But we define it like that, and we divide it so that we can express God, right? Or so that we can, not express God, so that we can try to explain God, even though those fall short, right? And so, yes, we have this, what we call the ego is the part of us that allows us to experience being a human. Absolutely. But here's the thing. You don't have to know about the ego at all to get what you want. It's just a physically focused part of you. You just have to know the truth that no matter what I think or feel, everything is going to work out for me, no matter what. Boom. That's it. Knowing about the ego is like icing on the cake. Right? You don't need icing on the cake. A little pound cake with no icing to get the job done. But it just gives you a little extra understanding, right? For some people it helps, for some people it confuses. It's really up to you. Don't allow the different, because you don't have to know you don't have to know what ego is. You don't have to know what vibration or alignment or frequency or none of this shit. You don't have to know what realities or 4D or 3D or 2D or you don't have to know about none of that shit. Somebody who has no spiritual information that just decides everything is going to work out for them. Boom. You don't have to read a lick of scripture. You don't have to you don't have to know anything about the Bible. Never stepped foot in the church. Never done a meditation. Don't know what the fuck is an affirmation. Just say shit in my mind. You mean thinking? Why would I do that? You don't have to know any of these things. It's a choice. It's a decision that is all working out for me. And sometimes knowledge can become the very thing that paralyzes us from making the choice. Because now we're caught up in we're hiding behind knowledge. We think that God is tucked away in the future within the next book. Well, I'm definitely going to find God in The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm definitely going to find him there. I'll definitely find, God on the next YouTube video, or the next TikTok short. This will be the one. But no, God's not tucked away in the future. God is here in the fullness right now, just waiting to perfectly reflect who you're being right now in this moment. That's all. How do you balance being kind and patient with others while knowing nothing matters? It's just the type of person I want to be. That's all. I get to decide who I want to be, and that's who I decide to be. I decide to be patient. because I understand the journey. I understand what it took to get me down the path, right? I understand the pitfalls that I ran into, all the places I was bumping my head and shit. I understand that. So I see myself within everybody. And also the purpose of me doing content is so that I can speak to a different version of myself, right? So when I give content, I give it from a perspective of what if a version of me, a future past version of me, ran across this. Am I being kind enough to deliver the message, right? So that's all. That's all. I know. It was a selfish reason. He said he did it for himself. He said, fuck us. He doesn't care. He only does it for him. Hey, if that's what you heard, that's what you heard. Right? Can't clean your ears out for you. But yeah, basically I just do it because what would I have needed in certain times? Right? And so it allows me to be empathetic because it's like, Because man, when it came to manifesting, I've been in some situations that my emotions were all over the place. Whether it was me being going to be evicted and I was kind of facing homelessness, or my mom with cancer, or just women that I thought were really special at the time. I would be in these situations where it was so emotionally charged, and it was very difficult for me to see through the situation to I am God. I was like, oh, yeah, sure, I get it. I'm God, whatever. But how do I get this shit? Yeah, I hear you. I'm God. But this SP, you know what I'm saying? I kind of need her tomorrow, right? So it was going through those things allow you to get a different amount of empathy to people. At least I'm not hard on you. Don't even do that. I'm not hard on you. I'm extremely patient with you. I'm the most patient with your ass. I'm the most patient with your ass. But it allows you to see from a different perspective, right? Yeah, I do one-on-one. The most patient. Okay, see, I'm the most patient. Oh shit, I didn't see all these YouTube comments. I'm tripping. What about death and revision? I lost my mom 3 months ago and I'm full of grief. Man, my condolences. My absolute condolences. Right? Never lost a mother, so I can't imagine what you're going through. But my prayers, my thoughts, my love is extended to you. I did lose a woman that was very close to me, a woman that I thought I was going to marry, right? Who passed away. I will tell you this. I had a client that had lost a parent, and they wanted the same thing. They said, you know, if I'm everything and I can revise, can I go to a reality where this person is not deceased anymore? And so my goal was not to say no, right? Because you could experience whatever. There's infinite reality. You can experience whatever, right? The only boundary or limit is your imagination. But we started talking about why. Okay, it was intimate. I'm not going to share all the details, right? But what actually happened is they had a very clear dream about this person that gave them a lot of closure. They said it felt real. It was they could not distinguish reality from the dream, even if after they woke up. But then also they had received a text message from this person, even though this person was already gone. I'm not talking about a text message that you find later on and you realize you didn't see. I'm talking about a new text message, right? So what these two situations did when they were together is they gave this person the clarity that they needed to know that there is no death, right? Though the body may disappear, this person is always within me. Their spirit just takes on a different form, right? Which truly is kind of the I guess point that we're all trying to get to, is to understand that in this physical world, there's nothing that is permanent. The only thing that is permanent is I am. Right? Everything else flows like seasons. Right? There's seasons where you're going to experience a lot of external love, seasons where you won't. Seasons where you seemingly experience a lot of external success, seasons where you don't. Right? And life ebbs and flows, and even the most beautiful flower passes. And if we're all fortunate, we will get to a point where we will enjoy the passing away of our parents in an age that is right for them, at a time where we believe that we did enough for them and we gave back to them, in a time where we have made peace with them. Right? But the greater realization to come to is that there is no death. So yes, absolutely, you can revise, you can decide what you want from that situation, but I would say, are you open to receive? Are you truly open to receiving that answer, receiving that manifestation in any way, okay? And if you are, you will receive it in any way. Yeah, yeah. With my beloved past, that's kind of the realization, right? Is that there's not a day that goes by I don't think about her, but like it gave me a different perspective on, and a lot of the journey after that was trying to find closure in like psychedelics and try to find closure in women and other women, to be quite honest. I was trying to find kind of life and everything. And then one of the paths that I took was just trying to fit. That's when I kind of really dove into manifestation. And why I say this, because I asked the same question. I said, if I'm God and I can do everything, then how come I can't experience where she's still here? That was one of the questions that I asked as well. And of course, I got some extreme clarity in that situation. Not with her physical manifestation coming back, but just a greater understanding or comprehension of the flow of energy, of the knowing that there is no separation. Nothing is outside of me. Long time, Katie. Years. Thank you. Can I talk about delays? Sure, I can talk about delays. There's no such thing. Yeah, man. I can only imagine, right? I can only imagine. I can't, say that I understand. At this point, I feel like that would be insensitive, right? But my condolences to you, truly. My condolences to you. Oh, the comment was, what about death and revision? I lost my mom 3 months ago and I'm in full on grief. And then it was just thanks for answering about my mom's passing. It's the hardest thing I've ever gone through. I loved her deeply, my best friend. Damn. That's tough. Man, we're all just carrying. And it's just why, none of us can ever go in somebody else's mind and in somebody else's body and feel how they feel. And so sometimes we'll try to compare our struggles to others, or we'll try to compare, our level of understanding to others and say, oh, well, this person, they just don't get it. They don't get it. Or, they're slow at getting this. Or we'll try to minimize some people things like, yeah, you just want an SP, but what about this? What about my health? We don't know how anybody else feels about a situation. The way that we feel about a situation, the way that our emotions are tied to a situation is very, very relative. Who is to say that the way that somebody feels about their specific person isn't the same way that somebody feels about losing a loved one, losing a relative? Who is to say? Who is to truly say? Well, Alex, I just don't. Who is to truly say? You can make an assumption or a judgment, but you don't know. None of us know. None of us know, right? So one thing to remember, y'all, is we are all on this journey together. Some of us wake up like this. Some of us have profound mystical experiences. Some of us don't. Some of us experience health issues. Some of us don't. Some of our catalyst is a specific person. Some of our catalyst is a parent. Some of our catalyst is money. Some of our catalyst is just getting fucking tired. And all of those things carry a certain emotional weight to them that can only be known by the individual. Right? And that's what makes this journey even more about self-referencing. Okay? Is that the truth can only be proven to me by me. My truth is only self-referencing. Okay? I'm the only person that knows what I feel. I'm the only person that can tell myself that even though I feel like this, I'm still gonna make it. It's still working out. And so often we'll try to find somebody outside of us to confirm a truth that only we can accept. Yeah, exactly. And that's why we all want to tell our own story, because we're just expecting something different, right? There's always this, not always, but there can be this sense of like, yeah, I hear you. Circumstances don't matter, but what about this? I hear you, emotions don't matter, but what about this? So in a sense, we do understand that we're having an individualized perspective, and what we're going through does not relate to anybody else's, but at the same time, it's like, well, then if I know that, why can't I decide who I am irrespective of what anybody else is going through? Damn, what happened to my bottle opener? Whatever. Figure it out. No, I had to open the bottle on a desk. I didn't want to use this one because computer and all that shit is here. I have three. I have this computer, I have that computer, TV over there. So. Gotta protect it. The surrender experiment. I don't know what that is. Let's look it up. All right. All right. What is the summary of the surrender experiment? So, what it's about, after a spiritual awakening, Michael Singer experiments with surrendering to life's flow, leading him from solitude to founding a spiritual community and running $1 billion company. Let's see, what it is. I mean, just reading that, I would say yes. Come on, mute. Y'all can't hear me? Gives up everything to the flow of life. Oh, you good. Okay, cool. I got a question for y'all. Any tips on things to do while waiting for reality to catch up? This person said they're struggling to detach and deny the senses too. A common thing, right? Common question. Any tips on things to do while waiting for reality to catch up? Go back to remembrance. Embody the self that has it and live my life according to that state. Develop a hobby that you could really get into flow with. Oh, wait. You awareness of reality not being up to speed is slowing it down. Focus on what I want. Stick to my knowing and it's all unfolding, and try not to label things. Do the things you enjoy and can immerse yourself in. Go for a walk. Do your daily activities as God and know you are whole, complete, and perfect. Give it to yourself and stay. Yeah, I would say all that, right? It doesn't matter what you do, right? But you can find things to do. Find things to fill up your life. Find things that allow you to be present. All right? Take away the need for this thing and remember that you are everything. When the mind is foggy, when we can't clearly see what we want, what our advice is, allow it to get clear. Allow life to flow and give you clarity on what you do want. That's it. No need to force yourself to find what you want, right? There's no need. You're here to have the fullness of the human experience. You're here to enjoy the curriculum of life. So allow yourself to enjoy it. Eventually, life will show you what you want. And yeah, you can ask questions. It's a more laid back stream. I'm not up here yelling and reading Bible verses. So we cool. Talk about the high you get when realizing that it's just a decision, but then it fades. Yeah. It's just a high. It's just a, but it does not impact how powerful you are. Feeling like you're powerful is not the same as being powerful. Feeling is just a feeling. So yes, you might have this high that you can decide, and a low that you, I don't know. That's That's just part of you. Some people never have the high. Some people never have the low. Some people do, right? It's just part of your human experience. You can't go into anybody else's brain and figure out what they're going through, what they're feeling. So give yourself grace, man. Be kind, be cool. Flow through life, right? Understand that there's going to be ups and downs. Even in the perceived ups and downs, you're still just as powerful. You're still everything that you desire to be. This goddamn third episode of Jujutsu Kaisen of JJK, bruh. My goodness. This third episode, it was just a big ass. The animation was beautiful. I was watching on Discord. I think Josh joined. Josh, I think, was the only part. I think somebody else joined for like a second. Me and Josh were there watching it. Animation was beautiful, and it was a hell of information in there. Does anybody understand the culling games like completely? Or am I the only one who just still is like, oh yeah, okay, cool. You get points for killing people. You like, I'm the only one who's do y'all had to watch a TikTok? I might have to do that, man. I might have to do that because I was in there like, man, I need to figure out what the hell they are talking about. The author was inspired by Naruto. So it's the worst chapter in the manga. That's encouraging. A Hunger? No, it's not. It's kind of like a Hunger Game, to be honest. Yeah. The powers make no sense. Yeah, like the curse techniques, they're just born with it, and yeah. God damn, Libra. Can we? Damn, we can't have an opinion that is complicated. Come up here on live and explain the culling games then in detail and answer all my questions about it. The second season was cooler. The third season so far, the animation has been fire. I'm just playing with you. The never-ending story. I've never heard of that. What's my opinion on dreams? Entertainment that I can choose to accept as true or choose to accept as nothing. If I have a dream that I win the lottery, I'm taking that as a fucking sign. But if I have a dream that something bad happens, I'm not taking that as a sign. I'm just going to say it was just a dream. Whew, thank God I woke up from that dream and I'm going to move on, right? So that's how I take dreams. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a dream. It doesn't matter if it's an energy reading. It doesn't matter if it's astrology. It doesn't matter. Are there truth to these things? Sure, there's truth in everything. Sure. But what is that truth dependent on if I accept it? Accept it. If I accept it. How do you give a desire to yourself? All right, you have a desire. You want money. I am prosperity. Why? Because I am source and I am all that there is, so I can choose to remember that I am prosperity. That's giving it to myself. Now I just remember that. That's giving it to myself. That's it. Sometimes when y'all ask shit like that, I'm like, man, y'all are too freaked out. What you mean, how to give it to yourself? Decide is yours. How do you decide anything is yours? When you walk by that woman and you were like, oh, you talked to her the first time, you just fell in love, you're like, is she going to be my woman? That's giving it to yourself. She's going to be yours. Yeah, it took me a little while. But the thing is, it didn't matter. Basketball chicks. Yeah, it took me a while, but it didn't matter. Even when I was on the process of trying to accept it, it didn't change the truth that I was already it. I was already source. It didn't matter if I was trying to accept it, I was already it. Damn, are we supposed to have a movie night tonight? No, that's tomorrow. That's tomorrow. Okay, cool. Matter of fact, let's check the Discord. Let's see how many times we have said SP. Any bets? Any guesses? Any guesses on how many times we have said SP? I'll give y'all a hint. Okay. So the last time we checked was so on January 9th, we have said SP 102 times. January 12th, 7:46 a.m. January 12th, it was 221 times. So keep that in mind, right? From the 9th to the 12th, today is the 16th. So that was a 3-day increment. Now we're doing a 4-day increment. So 102 to 221. What do y'all say? What do y'all say? We got a 333, we got 1,000, we got a 300. Okay. Okay. Let's see. $555, $487. My goodness, y'all. No faith in your damn selves, huh? All right, here we go. Oh, I gotta take that filter off. Man, oh man. Guys, we hit a new milestone. I'm proud of y'all. We hit a new milestone. Matter of fact, let me go and write it up for y'all, okay? Wow, I am 415. Wow. Absolutely beautiful. I am honored to announce that we have hit a new SP milestone of 415. Fabulous. Absolutely incredible. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. Can't wait to celebrate with a movie night tomorrow. Give yourself a round of applause. 415. Wow. Guys, incredible. Incredible. And if you can't open the Discord, you have to open it up in the browser. Open the link in a browser. Open a link in the browser. And then you should be able to open it. But phenomenal. Phenomenal work, y'all. Absolutely incredible. Parent Trap would be cool. I really want to do a movie that we can stop and like talk about through it. Yeah, I got all my desires. All my desires. Every single one of them. Money desires, got them. Women, got them. Mom's health, cancer fading away, got it. All of it. Everything that I want, got it. Lucy would be cool. We should watch The Secret. We should watch The Secret together and then pause it and have conversations. Like, all right, what do y'all think about this? I think that'd be fun. Everything Everywhere All at Once would be cool too. I just feel like I feel like I sold myself on The Secret. If we watch The Secret in the Discord and we kind of pause it maybe every 15, 20 minutes. And then we just kind of talk through some things. I think that it would give us clarity on some stuff. That's it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to watch The Secret. In fact, we could probably watch The Secret right now. I don't really feel like talking anymore. All right, that's a deal. I love how I can talk I don't know if y'all notice, but when I make decisions, like I just make decisions and just fucking go. The moment that I make a decision, sometimes I'll entertain, like, oh, let me see what y'all think. But I'm really like beyond, like, once I make a decision, I don't really care what anybody else thinks, you know? I'm sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Like when I was like, oh, somebody make the telegram for me. In my mind, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to fucking do it. So I made it. Oh, I'll just make this Discord. Yeah, I'll just figure it out. Yeah. Somebody help me with it. No, I just did it. But anyways, I'm finna jump over to the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, it's in the link in the bio. It's a link tree. It's in the bio. We can, I'm finna put it on. Matter of fact, I don't even know how to find The Secret. Let me make sure that we can actually find it. Is it on Netflix, you think? Oh, shit on YouTube, huh? It's on YouTube? I bet. All right. See y'all in a second. If you're not in the Discord, I'll see you the next time we go live. But yeah, love y'all. Talk to y'all later.